Shady British journalists, shady questions, shady ladies, and a doozy of a problem for the Youth League. This is ZA News. Let's get it on. National Police Commissioner Becky Cele has hit back at British journalists who questioned him about murder tourist Eni Demwani and told them there were parts of London that were dangerous for visitors as well.
These very shady journalist team, they were trying to pull a fast one on me by asking me the questions. They were asking me if it was safe for the tourists.
And what did you tell them, General Cele, sir?
It was none of their bloody business. And then I was telling them they are not crimeless.
They are not?
No, team. Once I was in London and the taxi driver, he wouldn't take me to Brixton. He was saying that the thieves there would steal his taxi.
Is that bad, General?
Yes, team. I was telling this taxi driver that he must not worry about the criminals because Big Mama here and me, we would see off these bloody criminals and protect him and his taxi.
And that reassured him, did it?
Yes, he was very excited when he saw Big Mama, that he was driving off very fast, straight through the stop street and nearly hitting the other cars. I tell you, it is bloody good thing I was not in this taxi at the time because I may have been killed myself.
The ANC Youth League wants to get more information on the Dusi Canoe Marathon and the role its president, Julius Malema, would play in the event before they agree to let him take part.
We are a political organization. We have no time for these publicity stunts.
But Mr. Malema, the organizers believe that by taking part you could be an ambassador for transformation.
We are not ambassadors. We are the young revolutionaries of the African National Congress.
Yes, we are revolutionaries. We are against these apartheid sportsmen.
Apartheid sportsmen? What do you mean? The Dusi is a transformed event. They are calling it the Comrades of the River.
It is we who are the comrades, and we will not be peddling on this racist river. We are not the ducks who splash in the water. We are not agents who are fooled by these neoliberals and their wet business.
Yes, we are not ducks. We are not even fish.
How on earth could the river be racist?
We are hearing there are white waters here. We will not swim in these segregated waters.
Yes, and also we can't swim.
Foreign strippers and exotic dancers have complained of body searchers and being groped by Home Affairs officials and policemen during a raid on a Cape Town club.
Shalak, where's your work permit, eh?
I say already. It's in office with lawyer.
Well, like, Asama will bloody will ask you again. Okay, lady?
Yeah, okay.
What are you hiding under those clothes?
It's nothing. It's no clothes under these clothes. I work just with G-string. Already I show that man, and also that policeman there, and that one over there, and here, and look many times. It's nothing.
Well, I want to see also.
No, it's too cold.
Are you like disobeying a legitimate order from a police officer?
Yes, I disobey order. It's now 3 hours I am here. It's cold and hungry and tired.
You disobeying an order from me?
Yes, I disobey. Clothes not off.
Pretty please?
No.
Pretty please?
No.
I'll give you money, eh?
How much?
Like 300. That's all I got at the moment.
Okay, but no sushi, eh?
Scotland caused one of the biggest shocks in world rugby when they beat a woefully poor Box side at Merrifield and ended the Tories' Grand Slam ambitions.
Oh, yes, Tim, it was a bloody ref, man. Man, he's moo. I mean, some of his decisions, are kind of like puzzling. I didn't know what he was like doing, and I think that even he didn't know what he was doing, you know what I mean?
Actually, no.
Oh, don't be a bloody pooper like all your lifetime, man. Like the ref, Stuart Dickerson. I mean, he's a bloody idiot giving the Scottish points every time they scored. I mean, what for?
Coach, commentators are saying that this defeat could signal the end of your career with the Springboks, especially after the Tri-Nations debacle earlier this year.
Ach, no, Tim, I don't think so. If I had a 5 rand for every time someone who schemes, he knows what is what and what is for, calls me a flippin' stupid worse or something poofy or whatever, then I'd be like a bloody millionaire or even a billionaire or something, but bloody rich all the same. So no, I don't think it's time for me to say tootsies.
Oh no, that is such a horrible thing. How can this be possible right here, under our eyes, in our South Africa, in this day and age?
Oh my gosh, what are you reading, Dada?
There is this school in the Northern Cape, in a village called Khasihuba.
Yes, Dada?
I'm so shocked, I can hardly speak.
Oh my lord, is it that bad? What is going on there, Dada?
This school was built from soil dug up from a mine dam full of asbestos.
Oh no.
This horrible asbestos has already killed the teacher, and soon all the children could get very sick. The whole village is also full of asbestos flying everywhere.
Oh my dear lord, why don't they shut down the school and move it elsewhere?
The villagers wrote a letter 3 years ago to the Northern Cape Education Department.
And?
No reply.
What?
No feedback from government whatsoever, and the children are still breathing the poison.
Oh, those people are monsters. That is so horrible.
There are probably hundreds, thousands of similar stories across our country. There are mine dams everywhere, and many of them are still full of one poison or another that flies into the air or flows into the rivers.
I don't know what to say. I mean, we must do something. We must do something about this.
There is so much incredible wealth in our country because of the mines.
What can we do? I mean, what can we do?
And yes, there is so much abject poverty, also because of the mines. That is the curse our country has to live with.
Amen to that. Dada, I've looked into the devastation, that this poison, this asbestos, is still causing across our country.
And what have you found, Desmond?
Well, despite the ban on mining asbestos in '98, there are still many dams that haven't been rehabilitated, and people living near them are dying like flies, I mean, when they are not dying from diseases caused by this poison, they are dying because they have no more work and they cannot feed their children anymore.
This is such a tragedy.
It is. And you know what else is a tragedy?
There is so much.
When after a hard day down those poisoned mines, they came back to their families. They were often coming back to a house made of cement mixed with asbestos.
That is terrible.
And you know what the government is currently doing to deal with this tragedy?
I think I know. They have appointed a commission of inquiry.
Exactly. They are doing studies after studies, leading to costly reports and more costly reports. And this department is pointing a finger at that department. And then cabinet asks parliament to investigate. And nothing gets done.
Unfortunately, I know exactly how this works, Desmond. I was the president, remember? And back then, I probably could have done more. I should have pushed government more to get rid of this poison and clean up once and for all, whatever the cost.
Yes, maybe, Tata, maybe, but don't be too hard on yourself. You did what you could, I'm sure.
Still, I feel terrible.
Like you said before, the mines are our country's curse. They kill many of our people, yet our country cannot live without them.
bloody agent.
The Western Cape government has passed a resolution banning all blue light convoys in the province from December.
Yes, Tim, you're right. You will remember earlier this year that I vowed to put a stop to these bullies with their sirens and flashing lights. And well, now I've kept my word.
So no flashing blue lights at all in the Western Cape then, Madam Premier?
They may only be used in genuine emergencies by policemen in the course of their duties. A politician who is in a hurry to get home for dinner in rush hour traffic is not an emergency. Politicians must remember they are not more important than policemen.
It remains to be seen, though, how this law will be enforced, doesn't it, Mrs. Zille?
What do you mean, Tim? The law is the law and it will be enforced.
But the police ministry says that provinces do not have the power to say where and when these blue lights can be used.
Oh, we'll see about that, Tim.
Are you the white lady who is making all the trouble?
I beg your pardon?
We are receiving the reports that here is the white madam who is kissing the criminals by interfering with the bloody business of the police.
We are not interfering with any police duty, General. We are...
It is the duty of the police to have the blue lights to notify the criminals that we are on duty and that we are coming for them. Finish and clear.
Well, really?
We are escorting you out of here, madam, with the blue light. No bloody questions.
But...
Quiet, madam. You are not a motorbike. Hear me?
Hip-hop godfathers, Public Enemy, the original pioneers of the genre, will be performing in South Africa with their original line-up. Chuck D, Flavor Flav, Professor Grief, and Security of the First World, and hanging out with some local crews.
So this is the ugly Helen Madam Z. She is the bloody bitter pill. She is putting out the blue light. And for the ANC, this is not right. Quick, comrade, get the doom and spray the cockroach from the room. She is the bloody agent. Comrade.
Huh? What is it?
What is rhyming with agent?
Vagrant.
Okay, she's a bloody vagrant. What else?
Fragrant.
How? Fragrant. What does it mean? Is it a revolutionary word, this one?
It is, like the poofy.
Is it in the Petty Dictionary, this word?
Amanda Reineke, the so-called Blue Bulls cougar, who is accused of conspiring to kill the rugby player Dion Helberg, has been granted bail in the Pretoria Magistrates Court.
You know, Tim, I am very much aware of these cougars. These are the ladies who are maybe 40 years old, but who are still very much the very fine ladies. And they are working in teams.
In teams, Mr. President? You mean like Mrs. Reineke, who is said to have worked with a team of alleged Nigerian hitmen in an apparent attempt to murder her daughter's former boyfriend?
No, Tim. I mean these women are going out together to find the very powerful men like Msholozi.
Mr. President, sir. Isn't a cougar an older or mature woman who dates younger men?
No, Tim.
She isn't?
No, Tim. She is the very fine lady who is dating Msholozi because he is like the younger man.
You are like a young man, Mr. President.
Very much so, Tim. Even without the Bangalala. I am the young bull. I am the Zulu warrior whose spear is always sharp.
That's quite enough, Mr. President.
That's very funny, Tim. Because that is what these ladies, these cougars are saying to Msholozi.
Film fans who have seen clips of the forthcoming movie on Winnie Madikizela Mandela have reported that Jennifer Hudson does not do justice to the title role, and that, as feared, the American actress's South African accent is terrible.
Well, hello, Tim. I mean, what were these people, expecting? For heaven's sake, these are the movies.
Maybe, Miss Theron, they were expecting a South African accent from a South African character, in a film directed by a South African and shot in South Africa.
Oh, jeez Louise, Tim. You guys don't want a lot, do you? I mean, how many Americans do you think would want to see a film like that? Where they're like, they can't understand what you people are saying.
They seemed to have understood what the South Africans were saying in District 9, not so, Miss Theron?
Yeah, but Tim, that was a science fiction film, not a struggle film where African Americans can, get in touch with their roots and stuff.
Well, maybe they could have done the rootsy thing by learning the accent the same way you studied American accents, Miss Theron, from television programs.
Good heavens, no, Tim. Oh, you honestly think that people can expect to watch things like Seven de Laan and Noord for Nerd and SABC? I mean, jeepers, it's horrible. It's too horrible for words. It's torture.
Thanks, Miss Theron. Short scenes and so bonner.
Hysterical.
There is no asbestos at the Aurora mine, but the poor miners there are living in absolute hell, Dada. I mean, there is a story of this 75-year-old miner. He was born in Mozambique.
75? And he's still working at the mine?
Well, he actually wishes he was still working in the mine, Instead, because they are not being paid, he has to beg. He has to do jobs like cleaning dogs' poo. I mean, just for a few rands.
Desmond, this is paining me so much.
There are hundreds like him at Aurora and thousands across the country, Men who spend their whole lives making other men immensely rich and who are now treated like less than dogs.
Desmond, please stop.
The mine owners, the rich corporations, the shareholders and the wealthy individuals in their fancy cars, why can't they look after these men? I mean, why can't they help? Have they got no humanity? Have they got no shame? It's not only about your grandson, Zondwa, Dada. It's about big business and the business of mining in general, And besides, you are not responsible for members of your family. I mean, your children and grandchildren are big boys and big girls. Come on, Dada. I'm sorry I raised this.
No, Desmond, you are right. It is the mines. They poison everything. Not only the bodies of the poor miners, but also the minds of the children we raise. Gold, diamonds, coal, asbestos, it's all the same poison.
The ANC Youth League have been engineering service delivery protests in the Western Cape as part of their plan to make the province ungovernable.
Yes, Tim. This is a very well orchestrated, cynical campaign by this gang of ANC youth. These so-called service delivery protests appear to look like spontaneous incidents, but they are in fact carefully planned by these gangs.
So, Madam Premier, are you saying that residents have no concerns regarding service delivery?
Well, that's the irony, Tim. It is precisely the delivery of services that is under attack here from the ANC.
How so, Mrs. Ziller?
Well, Tim, a school bus is stoned and children are hurt. Roads are barricaded. A vehicle for the physically disabled is petrol bombed.
Oh, is the ugly white cockroach, madam?
Oh, there's the culprit.
Comrade, must I fetch the doom?
Don't think I don't know what your game is, young man.
We are the young revolutionary lions of the African National Congress. We do not play games with imperialists and agents of liberals.
Yes, we will chase you here with our doom.
Just what do you think you're up to here? Throwing stones at school children? Stealing their exam papers?
We are doing the service delivery protest.
Oh, please. You're protesting service delivery by making sure that there's no service delivery.
Yes, we are protesting this service delivery.
Pants and get service delivery. Pants.
Right, that does it. You're in for it now. I'm going to tell President Zuma on you.
How?
You're in big trouble, all of you.
Agent Cockroach, where are your boyfriends?
Oh, that's concubines to you.
Can the Springboks salvage some glory from the Northern Hemisphere tour with a spirited performance against England this weekend?
Achtung, man, there you go again with this negative cock, man. Are you scheming now that we must be like nipping straws for a bunch of bloody slap roinecker two pups left to even be like fairy ballerinas or whatever else?
I must say, coach, ever the optimist, eh? You are certainly very optimistic for someone whose lifeline as a coach is hanging by a thread.
You know, Tim, a bit of a laugh in the chair and whatever, you know, because tomorrow these Engelsmen, they got to be dealing with Victor and Bucky's and OPSP's and, Booty, what do you mean? You know, this is the Tower of London. What do you mean? What's this bloody cock about swinging low? Are you some kind of All Black prop or something, huh? There's a bit of a ballerina scrum cap you got there, you know?
And finally, a chance to pat ourselves on the back. These trophies you see here in front of me are a couple of pixels. The South African Bookmark Awards, which are to the digital world what the Oscars are to the movies. Here is the gold pixel, which we got for the best online use of audio and video. And here is the bronze, which we got for Chicken to Change, the music video about our good friend Bob Mugabe, which Zar News did with Freshly Ground. Modesty, however false you may deem it, dictates that we refrain from naming our heavyweight competitors and how we rubbed their noses in it. But one thing still puzzles us. If we are so good, then why isn't Zar News on mainstream television? Are we such a problem for the broadcasters? Why are we not getting the picture, so to speak? ETVM, TVM, ETVM, TVM, ETVM, we makaule to ETVM, kaule, ETVM,
Kauliti, TVM win, we are the Bambi, Zila Kauliti, TVM, bring me my TV, put me on the I want to be there, guys. I want to be on the TV, on the bookies, on the doors. Put me there, guys. I'm a door, so put me on yours.
Why are we doing this? Because here we still can. From me team and the team is Hamburger, goodbye and Futsek.
Oh, here we go. It says here that Chancellor House now owns more than 500 mining sites. I mean, soon the ANC may become one of the biggest owners of mines in the country.
Yes, I know, Desmond, and that worries me.
Well, look, Tana, maybe you shouldn't feel too bad about this. I mean, the leaders in the party say that they are doing this through a legitimate company, and all of this is being done completely above board.
Yes, they are saying that about this firm.
No, but there are other people like the DA who say that this is a complete conflict of interest, you know, when the ruling party and its leaders are benefiting from concessions awarded by the state.
It is very embarrassing.
Well, you know, you are not the leader of the ANC anymore, and you don't own mines, do you?
No, I don't. But I feel bad about all this.
It's probably because of your grandson, Zondwa. I mean, yes, he should be blamed for not paying the people working at his Aurora mine, and he wears your name, but he's not you.
I know, Desmond, I know. But it's not only that.
Look, you must stop feeling responsible for everything that happens in this country, or every time a member of your family does something that is not completely kosher, Tata.
But, Desmond, what I wanted to say is, why did they have to call this company Chancellor House? That's the name of the place where I used to work as a lawyer with my dear friend, Comrade Oliver Tambo. Every time I hear this name, Chancellor House this, Chancellor House that, it is like hearing my own name.
Well, perhaps you should ask them to change the name then, you know, to, I don't know, maybe Vice Chancellor House, or Sinful House, Treasure House. What about House of Gold?
That doesn't make me feel much better.
Spanello says, Zanyos are the only guys with the cojones to stand up and say something about our government. First of all, Spanello, let me apologize for getting your name wrong in my last response. But it is not my fault if you choose to have such a complicated name instead of a nice, simple one like Bekisizwe, Mzwenhlanhla, or Samukhelisiwe. Secondly, I do not like this ZA news. It is not funny. It is also wrong. Look at this cover. Where are my handsome features? My strong presidential face? It does not even show my nice body, which all the ladies agree is very impressive. Also, it shows Julius Malema with a gun. Everyone knows that Julius would not use a gun. He would get other people to do that for him. This is why I have never watched ZA News. It would be a waste of my very valuable time. I would rather look at something that really does stand up and say something about our government. Great. And I'm sure you will agree, Spanello. It takes the real cojones to say that.
Hit